Naruto is a franchise with countless unforgettable episodes and moments, epic battles, heartbreaking deaths, romances, and of course, the evolution of characters as the story unfolds, especially when we see our beloved protagonist achieve his dream of becoming the Hokage of Konoha. And because of this, we also have a ton of interesting facts, both from the manga and the anime. So I've put together a list of 20 facts you didn't know about Naruto, those little known secrets. Now, considering the work I put into finding all these facts, make sure to leave a like on the video. Seriously, I had to do a lot of research since this isn't something you'll find just anywhere. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications because we're going to release more videos like this. Naruto is the name of a ramen ingredient. From the series Coincidence or Not, here's another one for you. We all know that our beloved protagonist's favorite dish is ramen, right? Well, what if I told you that Naruto is the name of an ingredient that's part of the dish? Yep, it's a type of cooked fish paste shaped into a spiral in the center and sliced. Have you tried it? Let me know in the comments. The connection between the characters and Buddhist teachings. There are two characters in the franchise that have ties to Buddhism. The first is Hagoromo Otsutsuki, known as the Sage of the Six Paths. He was created based on a Buddhist teaching called the Teaching of the Six Desires. Additionally, there's Pain, the alias adopted by Negado, who was also inspired by this teaching, as through the Rinnegan, he was able to form the Six Paths of Pain. Interesting, right? The tribute of the frogs from Mount Myoboku to Japanese actors, Gaara'S actresses. Here's another interesting fact for this list. The names of the frogs from Mount Myoboku are tributes to Japanese actors and actresses. Shima is named after Shima Iwashita, known for acting in over 100 films and TV productions in Japan. Gamaken is named after Ken Tatakura, an actor who sadly passed away at the age of 83 from lymphoma. He played the role of a tough detective in the film Black Rain, directed by Ridley Scott. There's also Gama Bunta, who is a tribute to Bunta Sugawara, an actor who appeared in nearly 200 feature films and worked as a model before entering the film industry in 1956. Do you recognize any of these names? Have you seen any films, series, or shows they were in? Let me know in the comments. Raiden and Naruto never met. Throughout the series, Naruto encountered several members of the Akatsuki: Itachi, Kisame, Konan, Pain, Nagato, and others. But there's one character he never met: Hidan. That's right, the two characters never crossed paths at any point in the anime. I bet, like me, you hadn't noticed that, right? Hiruzen was supposed to be a dog? Yes, you read that correctly. In the initial draft, Hiruzen Sarutobi was supposed to be a dog. For some unknown reason, Masashi Kishimoto, the author of Naruto, originally envisioned the character as an animal. Can you believe it? But after some conversations with his editor, he abandoned the idea, realizing it would likely be too strange. Do you agree? Or would you have liked to see the third Hokage like that? Let me know in the comments. The meaning behind Gaara'S tattoo. Many of you might have wondered about the meaning behind Gaara'S tattoo. Well, the symbol is pronounced AI, which means love, representing a demon loving only himself. Remember, he created this tattoo with his own sand, shortly after being saved by his mother's spirit when he was a child and almost killed by his uncle. It was during this time that the character fully surrendered to loneliness and darkness. Ninja tools are real. I think of all the curiosities on this list, this one truly surprised me the most. Did you know that most ninja tools, like kunai and shurikens, are based on real-life artifacts? They are faithfully reproduced to resemble the originals, but many were modified, either because of the jutsu created or because the characters altered them throughout the series, making them larger, sharper, and even deadlier. Orochimaru took many lives throughout the series. During the anime, Orochimaru always sought to become a powerful ninja and was constantly searching for new jutsu, in addition to conducting experiments to test them. But before becoming a rogue ninja, he was caught by Hiruzen and other ninjas, performing these experiments on living people, especially children. He was seeking answers to immortality, so he genetically altered many of them, and unfortunately, many of them couldn't survive and ended up dying. There was one instance where he kidnapped 60 children for experiments, and in the end, only one survived, Yamato. The connection between Anbu masks and the summoning jutsu. The Kitsuna mask used by the Anbu hunters has references to Japanese folklore and represents different figures for each member or rank. What you might not have noticed is that each mask represents the animal of the ninja who uses the summoning jutsu. For example, Kakashi Hatake's mask is very similar to that of a dog, which is the animal he summons, like Pakun. Kakashi was created to have a catchphrase. Speaking of Kakashi, in addition to being a ninja with very unique characteristics, he was also initially intended to have a catchphrase. We've all heard Naruto ending his sentences with Databayo, and Sakura, when using a powerful attack, always repeating the word Shanaro, which became their trademark phrases. So what would be the catchphrase for the leader of Team 7? Well, get ready. Kakashi would say Gozaru, which means to be. Haku's mother's death. It's impossible for anyone not to remember Haku, one of the first villains we encountered in classic Naruto. But did you know that before being found by Zabuza on the streets, Haku lived peacefully in a place in the land of water and had a family? That's right. Unfortunately, things got out of hand and he had to abandon everything and flee. Haku's mother always knew he was special due to his Kekkei Genkai, one of the strongest in the entire franchise in fact. However, since the power was highly feared by the local citizens, she kept it a secret from everyone, especially from the boy's father, because those who possessed such abilities were executed as they were seen as a threat. When the father discovered that his son was an abomination and that his wife had been hiding this, he brutally killed her in front of Haku. When I said Haku had to abandon everything and flee, it was to escape death. Very tragic, right? Especially since during his time on the streets, he endured a lot of cold and hunger. The infinite Tsukuyomi. We all know that the infinite Tsukuyomi is a technique unlocked by users of the Mangekyu Sharingan. But there are some interesting facts about this jutsu. The first one is that Tsukuyomi is a jutsu that traps people and allows the user to do whatever they want with them, in which the owner of the Sharingan traps the enemy on a cross and can do atrocities for as long as they wish. And this leads us to the second curiosity. The time of this jutsu is not the same as in the real world. In the fight against Itachi, Kakashi was tortured for days by the Uchiha prodigy. So much so that when he came to, he had to stay in the hospital for several days to recover from everything he went through. However, in the real world, only a few seconds had passed. That's right, seconds! Even the ninjas who were with Kakashi at the time were very surprised by this. Choza Akemichi the killer? Well, we can say yes, but only at one moment. Right at the beginning of the anime, Choji's father was among the many people who wanted to kill Naruto because he housed the Nine Tails within him and was considered a threat to Konoha. For many fans of the franchise, this piece of trivia is a huge surprise because Choza has always been portrayed as a kind, patient ninja, consistent with the ideology of the Will of Fire. The connection between Minato and Kushina with Masashi Kishimoto? In an issue of Shonen Jump during an interview, Kishimoto revealed that he originally intended to keep Naruto isolated, meaning he wouldn't know his parents. But after the author became a father, he changed his mind and created emotional moments between our dear protagonist and Kushina Uzumaki and Minato Namikaze, and these moments were truly moving for the fans. I personally love them. Love triangles in Team 7? This piece of trivia could be considered a deja vu. After all, it happened both in Minato's Team 7 and Kakashi's Team 7. In the former, Obito was in love with Rin, who had feelings for Kakashi, and none of them were reciprocated. Similarly, Naruto was in love with Sakura, who had a crush on Sasuke from a young age, and again, none of them were reciprocated. Some things never change. If you think about it, Jiraiya loved Tsunade, but she didn't seem to love Orochimaru in a romantic way. Sasusaku is the only couple from the same team. Speaking of Sakura and Sasuke, here's one of the many curiosities about couples. They were the only ones from the same team who got married and formed a family. Everyone else ended up with someone from another team. Naruto, Team 7 with Hinata, Team 8, Shikamaru, Team 10 with Temari, San Trio, Sai Team 7 with Ino Team 10, and so on. Kishimoto's favorite character. You might be surprised by this piece of trivia, but here it is. Kishimoto's favorite character is Sasuke. That's right, many of you may find this strange because the youngest Uchiha wasn't even part of the original plot, until the editor thought it was a great idea for Naruto to have a rival. This makes us question, if Kishimoto hadn't originally planned for Sasuke, why did he become the author's favorite character? The reason is simple. Kishimoto enjoyed drawing Sasuke. Despite all the challenges in designing the character, especially his face, which was very difficult, as well as his clothes, hair, etc., Kishimoto always found it fun to create different versions of the character. who, unlike Naruto, is always changing his appearance and never returning to the old one. A Naruto musical? Yes! In 2015, a Naruto musical was released in Japan. The success was so great that a year later they decided to release a second part. Although it's a performance that only takes place in Japan, there is a DVD recording of the musical. If you want to watch the show, check YouTube, as the platform has some videos filmed by people who attended the performance. Let me know what you think in the comments. Longest series? Well, it's not the longest, but it's definitely in the top 10. In total, Naruto aired for 17 years, with 720 episodes released, plus the manga that was being written at the same time. So yes, Naruto's story is quite long, but it doesn't compare to Hoka Hoka Kazoku, which, even though it aired for a shorter time than Naruto, has 1,428 episodes, or One Piece, which has also surpassed the 1,000 chapters mark. But if we include both Naruto and Boruto, the number definitely increases. Worldwide success. It's no secret that Naruto is a global success, but let's dive into the numbers. Over 200 million copies of the manga have been sold in Japan, 200 million in North America, and 17 million in France. Keep in mind that these figures were collected in 2014, so I believe the numbers have only grown since then. Not just in the mentioned regions, but also in other countries and continents around the world. But let me know in the comments, did we miss any fun facts in this video? Do you want part 3? After all, there are still many more interesting facts about the franchise. Did you know any of these? If you liked it, hit the like button, because these videos take a lot of work. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because part 3 is coming. By the way, part 1 is playing on the screen. Just click and watch. I'll see you in part 1.